How do I create a reality I really want? A masterclass on the law of assumption today on Awakening with Amy. Hi, welcome. I'm Amy Valentine, certified life coach, hoping to awaken within you a mindset that you can be, do, and have any desire. And today we're going to have a lesson, a master class on Neville Goddard and the law of assumption, so you understand how to create your reality that you want. Well, first of all, you're creating your own reality, whether you know it or not. So the power is consciously creating it, right? Taking your power back. We're taking our power back today. So we're going to take a deep dive in Neville Goddard's The Law of Assumption. Number one premise, you do not get what you want. You get who you are being. And Neville says your self-concept, who you are being, is defined by everything you assume and believe to be true about yourself, about the others, and about the world. So it's you in relationship to everything else that creates that self-concept. And that is how you perceive your world. And perception is the true energy, the true way that we define our world, how we define what we're experiencing, and everything flows from that, right? Our self-concept, our perception, who we are being, our I amness, right? So Neville says one of the biggest pitfalls in attempting to use the law of assumption is focusing your attention on the things. So powerful. One of the biggest pitfalls is we put our focus in the outer world. The inspiration for this video really came from a really dear friend of mine who has repeatedly, we've had multiple conversations on manifesting and creating reality. And she just said, I'm just exhausted. I am so tired of using processes, reading books, watching videos. And she's like, and I keep getting what I don't want. She's like, I'm just exhausted. And I said, yes, it is exhausting being who you are not. It's when you're being somebody that is trying to create, trying to get from, trying to be more within by trying to get the relationship, trying to get the money, trying to get the circumstances just right. You're literally fighting with your own creation. The world is a mirror reflecting back to you what you think you are, who you think you are, your perception, right? And I told her, I said, this is not about judgment. This is about righteous judgment, seeing righteously, meaning how your inner being sees you. And your inner being only ever sees you with eyes of unconditional love. God only sees love, unconditional love, meaning there's nothing you have to do to be more of who you really are. Bashar says we all have a core frequency, a core vibration that never changes. It's a beacon. It's our light. It never goes away. It only gets fogged up. That mirror, that reflection gets fogged up by our belief in the physical world being separate from us. All separation is ego. We are separating ourselves from our true source, our God, from infinite intelligence, from our true power. So we come here in a physical body to be a creator. We have to forget, bounce around life a little bit. And the true power is remembering that light. Like Bashar says, you don't have to try to attract anything. That light, that core vibrational frequency is already vibrating from you, trying to bring you everything you desire. And he says, if you're not getting what you desire, it's because you're blocking it with some limiting belief about yourself and about reality, right? You are literally thinking things that are going against that true core frequency, that your true self. And that's why you feel like I have to manipulate the world to get what I want. When no, if you just drop all that, you drop the trying, you drop trying to fix yourself, you drop anything that feels unlike that core frequency. And what does that core frequency feel like? Love, unconditional love, right? Desires, we're here to desire. Desires are divine urges to create. I say that all the time. That desire is so powerful. But what do? We block it with our negative assumptions, thinking from a self-concept that I can't be, do, or have it because I've never done it before, or, whatever. We have all these limiting beliefs. We have all these ways we argue for our limitations because we're so attached to the physical reality, the physical people, the relationship, the house, the car, that like Neville said, you're focusing on the things instead of who you really are, is already fulfillment, is that beacon of light. Everything that you want is trying to come to you. And everything that you no longer align with, like Bashar says, is trying its best to get away from you, but you're holding on to it. And that's why you keep reliving the same stuff. And that's why you're exhausted, because you're trying to be something that you're not, right? So that desire turns into desiring and longing and wanting. And then what you want, that reality that you want to live, eludes you, right? Just remember, the world. Here's a quote from Vadim Zeland from Reality Transurfing. That guy's pretty deep. But anyway, here's a quote from him about the world mirror. The world always agrees with our observation of it, yet avoids giving us a direct answer. How annoying, right? It avoids giving us a direct answer. Why? Because the only part of us that needs a direct answer is our physical mind, the mind that gets clouded by the appearances of things, right? The ego. The ego is always that voice in your head criticizing you, criticizing others, telling you you aren't enough. That's what the ego's voice always is. And every resistant feeling that you have, every negative emotion you have, is rooted in that I am not enough. And it's bogus. That's why it feels so bad when you think that thought or tell that story over and over again about how your parents messed you up when you were a kid and now you're messed up as an adult. The real reason you feel all whacked out and messed up isn't because there's something wrong with your parents or there's anything wrong with you. It's because you're seeing through the perception, the lens, the eyes of the false self, of the ego. You're only seeing this tunnel vision. You're not seeing the reality, the love behind it all, behind that experience. And every memory, you're recreating it now by giving power away to that negative experience, that unwanted experience. Instead of using your desire, your power as who you really are, that beacon of light, to allow in what you prefer, right? The key is your perception. This is the key to creating a reality, is how am I perceiving everything? And when you come from your true self, your I am that I am. This is the meaning of the proverb or the saying in Luke. I forget the number, sorry. But it's, fear not, little flock. It is your Father's good pleasure to give you the kingdom. Fear not, little thoughts, ego, little me. It is your Father's good pleasure to give you the kingdom. The kingdom is all your desires, because you're here to create, to have a life experience, to experience yourself as source. That's God's gift to all of us. That's why we don't have to figure out the how and the when. We just have to acknowledge that higher truth, that when I have a desire, when I ask, it is given to me. You put your faith, you walk by that faith, put your trust in that Now you're perceiving from that higher you, who you really are, here to be a creator. Change your conception of yourself, and you will automatically change the world in which you live. Do not try to change people. They are merely messengers telling you who you are. Revalue yourself, and they will confirm that change. Neville Goddard. That sums up the law of assumption in that one quote. When you go within and just not judge by the appearances of things, judge everything from that person that always gets what they want. That was just, oh my gosh, I'm remembering lack, fear, and limitation. I must be remembering wrong. My mirror must be clouded over by the fog of 3D and physical reality and of the illusion of fear. When you come from that, that's your power. And then reminding yourself, your core frequency, your true, uniquely you, that spark of divinity, it's never exhausting to be that. And so you allow in everything you desire. There's nothing too big for God to grant you. It is your Father's good pleasure to give you the kingdom. So remind yourself every day via gratitude. Come from, practice gratitude, persist in gratitude. Why? Because gratitude is so powerful, because it is when you practice gratitude for everything, no matter what it looks like, you're literally changing yourself within. And then, that, like Neville says, like they all say, then the outer world will reflect that change. Either people that aren't in alignment with that core frequency, that unconditional love, that thankfulness. I'm grateful and thankful for it all. Remember, you get a start over every single moment. You get a do-over every day. Like Abraham Hicks says, hit the reset button. Don't take life so seriously. We're here to play. It's a playground. We're not here to suffer. If you are suffering, change your perception and within, practice that thankfulness, connect with your inner being. Know, be still and know that I am God means cease the striving, cease the wanting. Any process, remember, is only to magnify you, who you really are. Magnify the Lord, the law of being, which the law of assumption is based on. Being, who am I being in every moment? Right? So use that thankfulness. Think about how grateful God is to you for being here in a physical body, to bounce around sometimes this uncomfortable world of physicality. That source energy is flowing through you as you. Everything is a relationship between you and you, just remember. So how you create your own reality is how you get to choose how you perceive it all. And when you perceive everything from that place of love and gratefulness, that is really the elixir for everything. That will change everything in the outer world. And that outer world, the people, the circumstances and events will literally start to reflect the change within. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you for liking and sharing the video. I really appreciate it. And please subscribe if you like this content. There's more to come.